Hello, I am the colleague who started kindergarten in 2001. You pegged me there, and you are accurate. With me I have Addie Garner. She's one of my students this year. She's a junior, and she is going to finish her novella, and she'll kind of talk a little bit after that, me as a testimonial. I am a crazy teacher, and I often have crazy ideas. And I'm very thankful for you all who are also crazy because you have helped fund some of my crazy ideas. For example, of my craziness, just last week, my principal, who probably didn't know that he was going to get shout out, walked in on my students and I cooking a steak with a tiny iron that we had previously been using to make hardback book covers. He had the first bite, and it was delicious. I have taught creative writing for Leavenworth for 3 years now, and this was a class that I had been foaming at the mouth to teach since I began working here 5 years ago. When I inherited the course, I had a crazy idea because I had read a crazy statistic, which is this: only 3% of people who attempt writing a book actually finish. And because I'm very competitive, I thought, oh yeah, I can beat that statistic with teenage students. So I brought an idea to my department head and my principal. Take these kids through a 2-semester course in which they write the first draft of a novella, a 17,000 to 45,000 word book. Give them creative liberty, but guide them through mechanical, creative, and philosophical lectures. Teach them self-discipline, teach them to be faithful in the small things, so that they can be faithful in the big things. I asked for and was given a grant from the Education Foundation to print these books in actual book form, something kids could hold in their hands at the end of a 9-month process, to feel the physical weight of it, to be able to say, I created this, which right now sounds kind of saying out loud like a baby, which we're also about to have, my wife and I. My first year teaching creative writing, I had 45 students. Of those 45, 22 finished on time for a 49% completion rate. Yeah, thank you. Which is obviously much higher than the global statistic of 3%. My second year teaching the course, I had 73 students, of whom 56 finished for a 76% completion rate. In total, those 56 kids last year wrote 1.343 million words for an average of 24,000 words per novella. Teenagers writing a cohesive, thought-out story with promise, progress, and payoff of 24,000 words in a single document. If we hold our kids to high expectations and we teach them right, they will exceed those expectations. Now this year, I have 65 very amazing, very diverse kids with very different academic backgrounds from different walks of life, just like every year. And of those 65 kids, I'm expecting about 55 to 60 to finish by April 1st. And they have already written 1.459 million words in total. 11 of these students have written over 45,000 words, and one has written more than 85,000 words. These kids, these children, will be printing novels this year instead of novellas. And with some extra funding this year, I'm also teaching them to rebind their paperbacks into special hardback editions, all of their own work and all of their own design. So here's the honest truth. These results would not be possible without the funding to print these manuscripts into book form. The ability that you all have given me to dangle this carrot has pushed them to do something great. The ability for these students to hold their books in their hands, to feel the physical weight of them, is the greatest blanket motivator that I have. I can preach on self-discipline and on character arcs and on how to find motivation, but without your help, these kids might not have been able to find the passion that they have found in this course. You all have made such a difference in the lives of so many children. Thank you for your investment in our youth in Leavenworth, in making the next generation of this city that much more capable and that much more empowered. And hopefully, maybe in a couple years, we can raise the global statistic of 3% just by what we're doing here in Leavenworth to like 3.001. That would be crazy. I have Addie Garner with me. She's going to give a little quick testimonial about her experience with the course. If you could give her a round of applause, please.
Hello. I put it on my phone. I didn't have a fancy piece of paper like everybody else. But I just want to say a few things about Mr. Messler and about how he's more than just a teacher, how he's more than just an educator. Mr. Messler is not the type of person to give up on anything or anyone. Knowing Mr. Messler, he takes a lot of pride in his work, and he does his best to make every experience unique. Every day, he challenges his students to go farther and do the best that they can. Creative writing, for many, is not just a class. It's an accomplishment. It's a goal. And it's something that encourages and teaches a hard work ethic. To write a book is hard, and to have a rise in completion average every year is something you don't see in regular classes. On top of his talent to adapt to kids' needs in teaching, and even in personal hardships, he makes every person and every student feel seen. Feel like their education is worth working hard for. That's something not a lot of people can say about their experience in high school. Writing a book is hard. Statistics show that not even adults can do that. So what's so cool about Mr. Messler and his creative writing class? That he creates a space and environment where that impossibility for adults becomes a reality for children. He lets us know that only we, as students, can finish our book. We have the power to do it. What's really neat about his class is that he can teach us all the things that we need to know about a manuscript and what should go into it, but only we have the power to do it. And what's so neat about his class is that he has so many students who does it. Students like me spend all year creating and writing and working hard on top of 7 other classes, extracurriculars, and a job. It should be a validating experience at the end of the year to hold a physical piece of evidence that shows, hey, I can do hard things. A good budget should be implemented into classes like creative writing to elevate and motivate students.